What's up everyone, this is a review for Mega SCF Demolishor. Like the Robot Replicas line or the RED line and things like that, this is a non-transforming figure who is made out of a little bit of a more rubbery kind of plastic than the regular Transformers toys. So I'll take a quick look at his box here. We've got some nice art of his face there that continues onto the side. A nice picture of the toy and his Minicon on the back with a bunch of words that I don't know how to read. And on the left side, we have a quote that says, "As you command." I'm guessing it says that because he's really loyal to Megatron and spends most of his time sucking up to Megatron. On the bottom, it just says Mega SCF Super Collection Figure. Here's a quick size comparison with the original Deluxe Demolishor, as well as comparing their Minicons. As you can see, he's significantly shorter. These Armada SCF figures don't really scale with anything, and they don't really scale with each other. Only their Minicons really scale with each other because the Minicons are the same size. I don't yet have the Mega SCF Starscream. He might scale with a couple of them well, but I'm not sure. I'll take this moment to say that the colors on this guy are really nice and more show accurate compared to at least the American version of Demolishor here. Most notably, this kind of greenish camo color they use on him, as well as how vibrant the red is, and most importantly, his face. So he actually has the sort of tan face that Demolishor is supposed to have, as opposed to this really weird solid black they used on the original Hasbro release. For another very quick comparison, here is the Thrilling 30 Armada Starscream. Like I said, these SCF figures don't really scale with anyone in particular, but I could see this working. This is the closest I've seen to any of the figures scaling with another. So maybe if you wanted a Demolishor to go with your Thrilling 30 Deluxe Starscream, maybe this guy's the way to go. So onto his Poseability. The Poseability is quite similar to the other SCF figures if you've watched my reviews of those. His head is on a ball joint, but it doesn't have much tilting motion. You can see that this is about as far as it tilts, but it can spin all the way around, which is nice, and has a little bit of a tilt for that added expression. Like Armada Megatron, his shoulders are probably my favorite part, mostly because of just how he has these giant shoulders as part of his design, and it really impacts how his silhouette looks depending on what kind of shoulder joint he has. They are ball joints, so you can get some inward motion like that, which you can't really get on the Deluxe. And you can get him to be straight up like this if you want. You can get some inward motion in that direction, and some outward motion like that. And of course, both shoulders rotate all the way around this way. He unfortunately cannot do the pose where his arms flip over all the way and he uses his arms as like cannons, but he can point these guns that way if you want to just do that. He has a swivel joint at the bicep or elbow area, and his actual elbow here goes all the way back as far as it can that way, and all the way forward as far as it can that way. His hands do rotate, so you can rotate these hands if you wanted to. Maybe pretend he has some kind of machine gun action. I think it's supposed to be that way because I think these smaller ones are sort of his thumb. But yeah, his hands do rotate there. He also has a working waist swivel here, so theoretically it could swivel all the way around if you get his arms out of the way. So yeah, a complete 360 waist swivel right there. His thighs are also on a ball joint, and they are a bit loose on my copy. I did get him new, although it may have seemed like he had been out of the box before. I'm not sure, but yeah, his thighs are a little bit loose compared to his other joints and some other joints on the SCF figures, but nothing terrible. They go pretty much all the way forward like that, and pretty much all the way back, except for the fact that they're hitting this little platform area he has, which of course has no function in this because he doesn't transform, but is accurate to the show model. His knees can go back about this far, and they sort of lock into place when you go that way. Taking a look at his Minicon here, like all of the figures in this line, he is wonderfully painted. We have details of his hands, his thighs, his face is a unique white, and on the back we get some details too, and even some sculpt of like this little satellite dish that he would have if he could transform, painted black tires, a nice little detail which is his Minicon port where it would be if it was functional. So just a really nice looking sculpt of his Minicon there. Unfortunately though, this Minicon has no Poseability. It feels like his arms might be able to move forward, but I'm not sure if I'm just stressing the joint or not. It doesn't feel as natural as it does with Megatron's Minicon, so I'm not going to force it and risk breaking it. I'm going to say that this figure has no Poseability. So that's about all there is to say with Mega SCF Demolishor. In my opinion, he's just as well painted and vibrant and well colored and well sculpted and just as posable as the other Armada Mega SCF figures. But in my opinion, he is a little bit underwhelming just because the original Deluxe toy is really great. By Armada standards, he's very posable. He has really fun gimmicks. He doesn't have the worst coloring in the world compared to other Armada figures. And of course, he can transform. And his Minicon can transform, and his Minicon is quite great in my opinion. So yeah, among all the Armada Mega SCF figures I have so far, I would probably recommend Demolishor last. But if you're a big Demolishor fan, maybe you feel differently. If you just really want a more show-accurate, posable version of this robot mode because you love this design, and I love this design too, then I wouldn't blame you for getting this guy at all. I definitely still recommend him. I just think compared to the others, he's not quite as exciting. Let me know what you think of him, and be sure to check out my channel for the other Mega SCF Armada figure reviews, and stay tuned for more Armada content and Transformers content in general. And thanks for watching.